Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Chaos Tactics, a few weeks after the release of the points and the indexes, we already have Games Workshop releasing the corrections for the points and rules. So in this video I'm just going to be looking at what it means for Chaos and my thoughts, my 2 cents on what is going on. So today, the 5th of July, I'm having my first 10,000 points game tomorrow versus a friend's Tyranids for 10th edition. And I have been doing a lot of this Warhammer math hammering, and I haven't had time to play yet. So I'm looking forward to play the 10th edition. But as I said, in this video, just going through quickly that Games Workshop is trying to make some quick corrections here. What has changed for the top, let's say a bit over the top armies, then what is the effect for Death Guard? Chaos Knights has been pretty hardly hit, and then any changes for the other factions before my summary and final thoughts. So some major changes for the factions that are leading the top, as you have seen in my first initial analysis of the win rates. We have Aeldari as the top, where they have above 66% win rate. Of course, those were some initial numbers, but very quickly now we see some trying to correct from Games Workshop points. So changes to the rule for the Strands of Fate, basically the miracle dice that the Aeldari have, and now they are limited to only use one of these miraculous dice per phase. Previously, they could have stacked those with their Wraith Knights, with a lot of nasty weapons that could do devastating wounds, and they could basically wipe off a lot of enemies from the board very quickly. Again, not a surprise to anyone. I mean, who, ironically, let's say with irony here, who could have ever thought that 12 of these dice would have been a broken mechanism? Nobody's surprised. Everybody was saying this from when the index rules and the faction focus was revealed. Also, we see some point increases to Wraith Knights from 370 to 475 points, the Fire Prism from 125 to 150 points, support weapons from 85 to 105 points. Those three, already when it was released, everybody was pointing to those. Before we even saw the results from tournaments, everybody knew this would be broken, apart from Games Workshop apparently, but now they try to do something here. For Space Marines, not very big changes here, but a point increase for the Desolator squad, the Desolation squad. So instead of 120 points for 5 of them, now you have to pay 170 points for 5. And again, everybody has been talking about these Desolators. A lot of controversy. People don't like how they look, but with the math here, again, with irony here, who could have ever thought that if you buy a squad of 10 men for 240 points, you would be shooting an average of 65 shots? How could that be problematic? And this you could add the blast rules, getting many more shots. Also, some of those were indirect fire. So yeah, re-rolling maybe with oath. Yeah, of course. Again, people were talking about this. It's not like something unexpected has happened and suddenly something mechanic that was not really envisioned shouldn't have taken Games Workshop off guard here. And then the Imperial Knights, also with a very high win rate, over 63% of what I was looking at. We get point increases, but also this will follow for the Chaos Knights. Unfortunately, there is no change to the towering mechanics. So again, the Imperial Knights, when I saw their faction focus, and you can see my original thoughts on the Imperial Knights, really strong, because 10th edition has made the vehicles very much stronger, tougher. The Imperial Knights give let's say, get free army-wide rerolls, allowing with a new towering that the big knights could see things behind ruins with very strong weapons that they can reroll. I mean, again, and also they have been the points were cut from 9th edition. Again, somehow this also took Games Workshop by surprise that this would be a strong combo. Now they are increasing the points, but also, as we can see, for Chaos Knights. So starting off with any changes for Death Guard, basically only one change for Death Guard that was struggling in the original win rates with 28%, 30% around win rates. Now we just got the possibility to take Plague Marines in the correct number of 7 for 140 points. So basically, if you take 7, you don't have to pay the tax for all the 10. Also, this allows new players, when they buy a box of 7, they can fill them and not feel bad that they are losing out of 4 points. But unfortunately, no other changes, no other point, let's say decreases or some army tweaking. This will not come, but at least this is, yeah, okay. Nurgle's number is 7. We can field seven Plague Marines if we want now. A side talk here, but huge congratulations to Aidan Smalley for his 5-0 Grand Tournament run. I think listening to his live YouTube discussion that I recommend you all to listen. He built some very good lists from our otherwise not so strong index with Plague Burst Crawlers, babysitted by Mortarion. So who would have thought that the Mortarion should stay back and babysit Plague Burst Crawlers? Apparently this works really nice. Lord of Violence, tagging, let's say, enemies, Death Shroud Terminators, and the Scout Cult is very strong. I really recommend you to watch the YouTube discussion from Aidan here. And then to the Chaos faction that was, let's say, hit the most by these changes. So big point increases for the Chaos Knights to all the big knights and the Forge World big knights. I haven't even included those in the table here, but a lot of people were anxious, would really like to use some of these big knights from the Forge World. They started off with some reasonable points. Now some of them are 800 points. The War Dogs have been unchanged in the points, and you can see in the table below big changes, let's say, to the Knight Tyrant. You can see here the 10th edition with a correction in July. The Knight Tyrant is 555 points. In June, he was only 485 points. There is something also being below 500 points. Feels it's like less than a quarter of your army. So 70 points increase for the Tyrant. In 9th edition, he was 585. So taking a model in 9th edition which didn't have free weapons, didn't have all these advantages, reducing it to 485 for a couple of weeks, and then bringing it up to 555, it seems a bit something was, I don't know how they planned these points and these changes in this edition. If we look at the Abominant, 60 points increase from 395 to 455. The Desecrator also 60 points up from 390 to 450, and the Despoiler that is also really strong with very versatile with a lot of shooting weapons goes up from 410 to 470. So all the big knights basically increasing in points. Not the Rampager, it doesn't have shooting weapons, so they are not trying to target it because it doesn't really help out that it has the towering effect. But then the War Dogs are unchanged, so the internal balance of the codex here will skew again towards the War Dogs. So I think this is a pity because I was really looking forward to take, let's say, 2 big knights and War Dogs. Maybe now we will see more and more getting back to the War Dog only lists. Less utility for the big knights as Dreadblades can affect the other factions. With this quite high point increase, I will try to update the math hammer for these knights now, but they were close. Let's say the damage per point was, let's say, with the June points, it wasn't exactly up to par with the War Dogs, but now with these point increases, 15% more points increase overall for the big knights. Their utility will be lower, and it feels like they are punished a bit for the Imperial Knights dominance. So you see on the right hand corner my analysis of the win rates from just a couple of weeks in June. The Imperial Knights had 63% win rate. The Chaos Knights from this initial data only had 45% win rate, so they didn't really need all these big point hikes, in my opinion. And then for the other Chaos factions, the World Eaters, one change only, the Lord of Skulls is increased from 420 to a hefty 525 points. And it's not like you were seeing a lot of those on the table. It's a pity here. The Chaos Space Marines, again, only one changed. Again, the Lord of Skulls. This goes from 420, but only up to 480 points. Yeah, for some reason, it's cheaper to use in Chaos Space Marines now. For Thousand Suns, there were no changes at all. But I will always find this interesting in the field manual that the Demon Prince without wings is 210 points, and if you add the wings, it's 190 points. This is as stated. I think this must be really a typo, and I don't know why they didn't fix that to correct this. Maybe if Games Workshop is listening, please fix this, or otherwise, I don't know why you wouldn't put the wings to take 20 points out of your cost, and Chaos Demons also remain unchanged. So reaching to the summary and final thoughts, very quick changes from Games Workshop's side. We got all the rules in mid-June or end June, and already we get a lot of updates, and especially army rules and the index cards. Maybe some people have bought already need some corrections. So yeah, I think on one side this is quite positive that they want to take action and to fix things, but it doesn't. But there is a lot of buts here. It doesn't give confidence on how they are planning their things and how they are playtesting. I don't even know if they playtest. And it's not like I said, as I tried to say here, it's not like some of these rules just took everybody by surprise of how strong they were. Already, this should have been anticipated and fixed. And yeah, a pity, of course, for Chaos Knights. That I was really looking forward to play with some of the big knights. Now it's back somehow to try to find war dogs that are sold out. Next fixes they said will come in autumn, so maybe they will have more data. And I don't think these changes so far. I don't think it's enough to balance the game, but it will require some more games and analysis from also Games Workshop side. But again, very quick changes. Maybe they want to get the balance right, but I think it will take a while. So let me know. This concludes the video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you want to discuss further, please visit my Discord channel. Also, if you want to support my efforts, please visit my Patreon page or become a YouTube member. And with these words, General Yannis signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye bye.